I realize that through my life I have deliberately created whether I knew it or not. And I mostly didn't know it until quite recently. And what I noticed in looking back is that I've always managed to create the things that I want, always with a sort of evil caveat. It's like here is this amazing job, and here is this wonderful thing, everything that you have wanted and loved, and it takes all of your heart and your passion, and it feels marvelous. But you will be 7,000 miles away from your family. You will not have children. You will not have a relationship, because everything is going to be here. And I've wanted all those other things too. And I guess I always felt, so I'm only allowed to have the one thing that the stool will never balance. And I just wondered, is this thing, this evil, weird poltergeist that I feel is really underneath, vibrating and creating for me, that I have absolutely no control over, and all I can do is really hold my own with the stuff that I want and hope for the best.
Well, you're not alone in that thought, but you couldn't be more wrong.
Good. Excellent.
So we want to explain to you how all of this works. The thing that makes so many people believe things like that is that, as you said, you didn't know about deliberate creation. You didn't know about the energy that creates worlds. You didn't know about your point of attraction. You didn't know about having an idea and coming into alignment with it. So you were not using the resources of the energy that creates worlds for your creation. Instead, you were doing what most people do. You're creating through action. And there's just not enough leverage in action to really get anything going, which brings you to the erroneous and really mistaken idea that there's only so much of me to go around, and so I have to choose of all of the things I want, which thing I want the most, give it my undivided attention, and maybe I'll be able to create it, but I can't do all of the things that I want. And nothing could be further from the way it really is. And when you begin to understand energy, and you do, and as you're listening to us here today, you'll get a full sense of this. So consider this. Let's say that you do have one great love and you've focused upon it, and as you've focused upon it, things have come about for you, and it's taking your time, and it's providing your living, and you're happy within it. But as you say, there is this other side of it. I'm far away from where I want to be, which makes me want opportunity to be with those I love. I'm so busy with this, I don't have time to do a lot of other things that I want to do. And on and on and on. As I'm doing this, I can't do that. And as I'm doing this, I can't do that. In every one of those awarenesses that come over you at different times for different reasons on different subjects, you're creating a vibrational escrow that has family and friends and people that you love around you, and all the money in the world that you'd ever need, and facilitators and assistants and people to help you, and opportunities to manage your life, and in other words, all kinds of things that seem irrational to accomplish when you're dealing on an action-oriented basis. You're launching into vibrational escrow, and we're not kidding you when we say they're not only possible, they are absolute, they are done, and the non-physical part of you is standing there as the culmination of all of that, managing all of that. But this poltergeist that you're talking about is nothing more than your habit of thought that says can't do that. It's only your upstream thought, which you've developed in your action-oriented working of your life, that as you begin to discover the leverage that lining up with energy gives you, you'll start to relax and say, why not? Why not that? I could foresee having my own transportation that moves me quickly from place to place. I could foresee having places that I like to be in many places. I could foresee bringing the people I love closer to where I am for a period of time. In other words, when you begin to move with the energy, more possibilities that you don't have access to right now begin to appear to you. And don't feel bad if they're not occurring, and don't feel bad if even when they occur they don't seem possible. Just understand that from where you are, you're reaching here, and when you line up with it, now you're here. And from where you are, you're reaching here, and when you line up with it, you're here. Until all of a sudden ideas begin to occur to you. You heard us say earlier that you cannot set your radio dial on 6:30 a.m. and hear what's being broadcast on 98.7 FM. So you can't have your dial set on it's hard and there's not enough of me to go around and have even any ideas occur to you. But when you start reaching for more downstream thoughts, not because you're trying to use the downstream thoughts to create a better life, but because the downstream thought is what's natural to you. The downstream thought just feels better. As you begin orienting yourself in that way, then who you really are and what you really know begins to be the dominant thought within you, and the possibilities are unlimited. And then your life gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, but it doesn't get bigger and less manageable. It gets bigger and equally manageable. Jerry tells the story because he's watched the way their lives have evolved just in a very short period of time. They've been moving around the country for about 20 years now, and Jerry tells the story of the farmer that goes down to the fence and picks the little calf up and lifts it over the fence, and he does it every day. And it's not long before he's picking a great big bull up and lifting it over the fence. And on the first day, he never would have thought he could do that. And sometimes they look at their life and they realize that they are doing things with ease that seemed impossible not very long ago, because the universal fairies of the universe are there to assist you when you line up with the energy. You can have it all. You can have everything that you want, because your life is putting it all in vibrational escrow. You don't have to say no to one thing so that you can have another. Sometimes we're talking with couples, and one will say, a woman said to us one day, well, I want to live at the beach and my husband wants to live in the mountains, and I just don't see how. Since we want to live together, we can both get what we want. And we said, you have to understand that your life is causing you to offer these rockets of desires that are about the essence of what you want. In other words, you want to live at the beach because you like the clean air and you like the sea breeze and you like the sand in your toes and you like the feeling of it. And he likes to live in the mountains because he likes the clean air and he likes the feeling of it. In other words, it's the essence of what you are both wanting. And the universe can find a way to deliver to you something that will satisfy everything that you want. But what happens with most of you is you're standing here, you know what you want, and you also know what he wants, and you don't want to have what he wants, you want what you want. And so instead of thinking about what you want and becoming a perfect vibrational match to what you want, instead you think about that some, but you think about what he wants, and so you bring what he wants into your vibration, and now you're not a vibrational match to what you want. So you don't get what you want because you're not a vibrational match to it, but then you blame him because you're not a vibrational match to it. So it's the same sort of thing that goes on even if it's happening just within you. You say, well, I want this, but I can't have that. And when you focus upon what you think you can't have, what happens is then you contradict your own energy and you turn upstream. And if you just wouldn't do that, you could do the one thing that you're loving doing, and if you could just resist the temptation of feeling bad about the things you can't do, and you're just loving the thing you are doing, in your love of what you are doing, you come into alignment with who you really are, and then you get all the things you want.
Wow. Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, indeed.